All right, guys, we're out here with my mom's 2003 S10. We put on the compressor, new compressor. Tried to vacuum the system down. Whether it was successful or not, I couldn't say. It did go to the negative 29 mercury or whatever. But it wouldn't take any Freon. It wouldn't accept any Freon through the gauges and stuff. So we ordered some more parts, and we're back out here at it again. This is new, by the way, as well. That's the accumulator. It's got a new orifice tube, or orifice tube, whatever it's called. But we're about to take the lines. I bought new lines. We're about to take it off. We're about to take the dryer or the accumulator off. We're going to unplug the high side. We're going to get everything set up. And we're going to flush out the evap. Once we're done flushing out the evap, we can put the new lines on. Put that thing back on, put the orifice tube back in, and then we're going to take the radiator out and everything that's associated with that, because you got oil cooler lines, you got trans cooler lines, and you got the antifreeze you got to take out in order to put the new condenser in. And there's the lines and the flush kit right there. So I'll get back with you just a little while. All right, guys, coming back in with an update. So far, you can see we've got the radiator and the condenser and everything out. Had to get them two oil lines. You see that one there, and there's one down there. Hopefully I can get it just in frame here. Yeah, right there. And on this side, that's a transmission line. And there's another one down there, and then you have your two AC lines that hook up to your condenser as well as your upper and lower radiator hose and all your fluid that you have to get out. I took the accumulator, I took the orifice tube out, I took the little high side hose on this that where you hook up your connector. Right there, that one. Took that out, blew this out with that can and what have you there, that little thing. And all right, here's the flush, as well as this flush and the flush can and all that. Most and the hose and all this, just about everything come off of Amazon. I'll put links in the description. Y'all go check it out if you're have something similar and you need them. That way you know at least these fit. So far I think we're right around 800 bucks just in parts. Now that's including Freon and antifreeze and things to that nature. These deals here, this is what sits on the right here on the top side of the core support that holds your condenser in. There's a small little screw, or a little bolt rather, that goes through this to the core support, and you got some regular little rubber isolating feet type deals that go on the bottom. And that's the old radiator. What you see leaning up beside it is the old condenser, that deal right there. The new condenser is right here. You can see the radiator shroud, the headlights, the grill, and the AC hoses there. I took all that off. I don't think you need to take the grill and the headlights out necessarily. I took them off thinking I might have better access, like right here, to get to the condenser or whatever, or maybe to get it to move and get out, because you're kind of fighting those fittings on the side. There's not very much room, but there's a couple of little plastic pops, pins that go through this hole, and there's another one that goes just right there next to the battery. But once you pop them two out, you can pull this out and kind of fold it around, and that slot right here is where your metal things come out that are connected to your condenser. You're going to lose your radiator fluid. I bought two, and they're not 50-50. They're solid Dex Cool. That's what these deals require. I'm probably only going to get one of those in and then have to do the rest for water, but we'll have the extra. But I'm going to get back with you once I get some of these parts back in. I've been blowing this out after I did this with the whatever that stuff's called, that stuff to flow it out. I've been blowing just air in it, just trying to get any residual of it out. If you see the shininess, the oil system. When this stuff, it was hardly coming out. It was just mainly vapors. And I shot it in the top, and it would come out the bottom. And then when I shot it in the bottom, it was just vapors. And then all of a sudden, bow! And it shot all the way. You see the droplet stains on the concrete. I mean, I don't know if I can get it all on camera. That's about 6 foot in front of the nose of this truck. I mean, it shot out. It hit my arm, went all over my face, went all over the engine bay. So I don't know if that was a blockage or what, but it's the way it popped. Sure felt like one. And that's probably why it wasn't taking Freon when we first just did the compressor, and I had it all hooked up and we vacuumed it out, and it wouldn't take Freon. I'm betting it was clogged in there, and I'm betting it was probably also clogged in that condenser over there. But we're going to go ahead and replace the condenser. We're going to go ahead and replace the dryer. I mean, all the parts we already replaced. Put them back in the situation, close the system, and give it another go. But I'll get with you in the next step. All right, guys, back with another update. The front end and stuff I'm going to leave off until I get her to fire this thing up and I check all those AC lines. I mean, not AC lines. The antifreeze lines and the oil lines and the transmission lines that I had to hook back up to the radiator and check for leaks and stuff, you know, get her to fire it up. But before we get to that point, I'm going to vacuum this system down. And I got everything back together. Got the low side on, got the high side on, got both them open. Got these up here and I got them open. And I turned that thing on for just a couple of seconds, or maybe 15 seconds, and it went ahead and pulled it down. I'm just going to let this sit. She is currently grilling us some burgers over there on the green egg, so I'm going to let this sit and hold. Hopefully it holds until I get done eating or whatever, and once we get done eating, we'll come back out here. I'll start pulling a vacuum for a good 30 minutes or so. Then after we get the vacuum pulled, we're going to see if we can get this bad mamma jamma to take a charge of Freon. But I just wanted to give you a heads up. This is where we at. And just by the way, guys, removing the headlights and the grill, I thought I'd get a little extra access over here, maybe to get the condenser out. Don't bother. It doesn't help any. It's just a waste of time. But luckily, it's super easy. It just clips in. So, but just you don't have to take all that stuff out. Basically, you just got to take the top of that radiator. The radiator cover and the fan shroud. You're going to have 3 10 millimeters here, here, and here. You're going to have 2 down here and 2 down here. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, see those 2 spots right there? Those 2 silver things? Wish this thing would focus. But anyway, that spot and that spot. So you have 2 on each side and 3 across the top to hold that on, and then your hoses, they'll go on top of it or whatever. But that's all that's really kind of left to do. Like I said, I just wanted to leave them off so that I had access to that one down there, and let's see, we'll get in there. Come on, here we go. That one, and then there's another one down there, and then as well as the lower and upper radiator hoses, which I just want to check and make sure before I get everything put back together and have to start taking things back apart. But this has been on here for, I don't know, maybe 4 minutes, and that's where it's at. So hopefully by the time we eat, it's still there. But believe it or not, we punctured that last weekend trying to get it to pull the Freon in the system, and it did not. But that thing has not leaked. I thought we were going to be down a can, but it has been a champ. It's still got plenty of Freon in it. So anyway, that's just the update. And again, this is a 2003 Chevy S10, but Sonomas, Blazers, Jimmys, I want to even say some of the Isuzus and stuff. It's going to be all more or less the same thing. Now this is the 4.3. I don't know about the 2.2 or 2.4, whatever the 4-cylinder is. All right, guys. So you can see we got the new compressor in, got the new lines on, and it didn't dawn on me to film taking the old one off and kind of explaining how to do it. But I'll do it real quick. These 2 lines right here that go into this bracket, if you get a pair of pliers or something under here and just pop them loose, that'll give you access to that bolt right there. And you got one there, and one there. So it's 4 bolts plus the 1 for the line, so 5 bolts, for the compressor total. You got this plug here, and then you got a plug in the back of the air compressor. When you swap air compressors, that plug that's in the back, the thing it plugs into, you're going to have a pair of snap ring pliers, because there's a snap ring that's got to be pulled out, and a plug that's got to be pulled out, like a cap or whatever, and then you put your old plug, or if you buy a new one, you put it in, and it is secured back in with the C-clamp, with the snap ring rather. But I just wanted to let you know that's how you do that. And you got to take your serpentine belt off, and you got your tensioner thing down there. That's where you put your 3/8 drive ratchet in and loosen it up. We went ahead and got a new serpentine belt while we were at it. Figure while we're in here, might as well. This truck's got quite a bit of miles, so you know it's not going to hurt. But got everything back in. Got that there on. Got the high and the low side on. I pulled the vacuum for about a minute just to get it down, and I'm just letting it sit to see if it holds. We're going to come back. If it does hold, we'll come back and we'll evap, or whatever you call it, the system, evacuate all the fluid out, vacuum it down, and then we'll put Freon. Alright, so I had this thing sitting, and it was leaking. It had went down about halfway between 0 and 30, and went around, you know, and I tightened some of these and some of the other lines down there, and just kind of put a wrench on some stuff. When I'm tightening this stuff down, because you know that thing right there is aluminum, that's aluminum, most of these lines ends are aluminum. I don't want to give it, you know, the gorilla strength or whatever you want to call it. You know, I don't want to give it my gusto, because I don't want to strip anything, I don't want to break anything. So I usually snug them down, just, you know, snug. So when it had the leak, I went around and just barely snugged up on some more, and that stopped the leak. The vacuum held for, well, we were probably inside eating our burgers and stuff for at least 40-45 minutes, and it was still, you know, right where it is now. So I come out here and turn this on, and I open them two valves up right there, and we're just going to pull the vacuum for, I don't know, probably at least 30 minutes. It might not need to go that long, but with most of the stuff in this system new, I just want to pull on it, be sure before I try to put any Freon in it. But that's where we're at now. I'm just, you know, like I said, just vacuuming down. I still even haven't put anything here, because I wanted to crank the truck up when we're doing the, you know, trying to get the Freon in or whatever. And I want to look down at the lines that I had to hook back up to the radiator, the oil lines and the radiator lines and stuff, because this has got an automatic in it, as well as the upper and lower radiator hose. I want to make sure we got any leaks. I could probably go ahead and put the front end on, but I'm not going to put the shroud or anything on, so it's easier to get down there. But that's where we're at right now, guys.